Let's get started with the prayer. If you know it, please chant along. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Havir Avir Maeti Rudra Yatte Dakshinam Mukham Tena Mam Pahi Nityam Tena Mam Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. O Lord, shine through and through, and ever protect us with thy loving, compassionate face. Om, peace, peace, peace to all beings everywhere. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Vedanta Society of San Diego. Today we are honored to have our revered Swami Sarvadevananda. He is our senior Swami in charge of our Vedanta Society of Southern California, so all the centers in Southern California and beyond. And today he'll be speaking about Ramakrishna's Sri Chaitanya. Yesterday he was telling us a little bit about Sri Chaitanya, and he said he was listening to a talk by one of his swamis, a senior swami, who started speaking to him about Sri Chaitanya. And during that talk, he started feeling a sense of vairagya, dispassion for the world and love for God. And he said that it was after that talk, sometime afterwards, that he ended up joining the order and becoming a monk. So I want to warn you, after his talk, we'll have a signing up table there outside for anybody who feels the passion of renunciation and would like to sign up for monastic life. All right? So Swami Sarvadevananda.
Om Nadhanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitang Ma Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishare Bhagavat Bhaktir Ahi Tuki Tvai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord of Lord, I do not crave for worldly name, fame, wealth, prosperity, and all that people desire of great objects of the world. My only desire is to have unconditional love, that love supreme only for you and you alone. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. This month we had actually Sri Chaitanya's birthday, Dol Purnima. According to lunar calendar, it is the full moon just passed. So that inspired me to read the life of Sri Chaitanya and Sri Ramakrishna. And the very life of Sri Chaitanya is only God and God. There is nothing else but God, and crying and weeping for God day and night, and seeing His presence, feeling Him in every movement of life. That is going on.
Yeah, March, yes.
Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya was born in 1485 in the English era, on the day of color festival. And he was very naughty when he was very young in his age. And he became very bright, brilliant, and was expert in all types of logic. He became so prominent that he became a teacher of neologic. And then people used to come from different parts to meet him, to be his students. But that whole life changed by the touch of a holy man who came. But that transformation was from the greatest scholar of the time to a person who is totally falling in love with God, crying and weeping for God and realizing God in their life. And nothing else, the world becomes meaningless to him. Sri Ramakrishna talked about Sri Chaitanya Dev, and we find so much similarity, Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Chaitanya. If we look at from one perspective, only one idea is that Sri Chaitanya is looked upon by the Vaishnavas only that he is an embodiment of devotion, and as if he is a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is lover of God only. But Vedantic understanding of absolute reality, which was the inner core of spirituality, what Sri Chaitanya lived, that side is most of the time forgotten. Sri Ramakrishna talked about Sri Chaitanya, that Sri Chaitanya used to live in the three states of mind. One is called the Vajra Dasa, when he is in external awareness of seeing the world, interacting with people, talking to people. And then that is his gross level, and when mind is to roam around the gross and the subtle level, the gross world and the mental world. Ardhavajya, then he's getting intoxicated more inward. Then he used to go to the state which is called Karana Sarir, the causal body. That means as we go feel some, to give us some idea, it is like when we go to deep sleep state, when it's getting absorbed, and the whole world vanishes for it, the gross world, the world of subtleties gone. His mind is getting absorbed into that consciousness, no? And then there is a third state that's called Antardasha, when he totally got absorbed into it. That absorption is so great, then the absorption is so great that he lost his all outward identity. And he became totally absorbed in that Satchidananda, which is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And he also continued that the three states in which he used to live in these three states, when eyes open, he used to see Krishna. He is called Krishna. Ramakrishna used to call Holy Mother. Mother. It was Kali for Ramakrishna, but it was Krishna for Sri Chaitanya Dev. And when the external world, his mind is seeing this world, but he is not seeing as we see. We see the name and form only. But he sees that divine within that, and that divinity. What is the divinity? You will say Krishna, you say Mother. These are all terminology. He says that when it goes to the subtler level, or the Vajra, half conscious in the world, half unconscious. The mind is no more in the world of duality. He does not see. He sees something, his mind goes to Bon Dekhe Vrindavan Bhave. He sees anything in the external, seeing a forest. That forest inspires him to think of Vrindavan, the holy land of playful land of Sri Krishna. And then Ardhavajya is that when mind is far deeply engrossed into the inner realm, and then objective world vanishes, even the Krishna name form vanishes, he goes into the state of undifferentiated, Mahakarana. And there is tremendous joy. And then he goes to another state which is called the Antardasha, the inmost state of reality, when all is gone and the person who was enjoying the bliss, he also merged into that. That is called and he is in the state of nirvikalpa samadhi. According to Vedanta, Ramakrishna himself reconciled these two ideas beautifully. Of course, their dualistic ideology of those who follow the idea of God, the personality, and Krishna this way, they will not may accept this idea. But Ramakrishna said, according to Vedanta, this five seeds idea of Vedanta analysis, there is a perfect match and similarity here. He said, Sthula Sharir, the gross body, is Annamaya, Pranamaya, 5 kosas, you all know. Annamayo, Pranamayo, Manomaya, Vijnanamayo, Anandamayo, and then beyond that is that truth. So Annamaya, this body is Anna, and Prana, the energy body, which gives the movement, seeing, talking, understanding, all this going on. This is Annamaya and Pranamaya. So that is the external state by Judasa. Krishna is to Sri Chaitanya is to live in that state, and there he used to sing and dance in the name of Krishna, and tears rolling down, creating that high emotion that God is the only reality. As I chanted the verse, I don't want anything of the world, material world. I only want that tremendous, that love, unconditional love, which will ask for nothing of the material world. No name, no fame, no wealth, no prosperity, no scholarship, nothing of the world pleases me. I only want that. And he used to cry and weep. We find in Sri Ramakrishna's life the same condition. He's crying and weeping and on the sandy bed of Dakshineshwar. He's running, he's rubbing his face, and it's becoming bruised and bleeding. No, in only separation, because he cannot bear this separation from the Lord God, whom Sri Chaitanya says Krishna and Ramakrishna says Mother. And then he has to go into a deeper state. That is, he said, when you go the another state, Sukshma Sarir, that means when you go live in the mental world, Manomaya and Vijnanamaya. Sri Ramakrishna said, Sukshma Sarira, that is the sheets of Manomaya and Vijnanamaya. That means when the mind in the level, physical world, he does not see anything of the physical world. His mind has gone inside. So it is all the visions and experiences are coming in the mental and intellectual sheath. That is the Manomaya. That is called the Ardhavajya Dasa. Then the body goes to Antardasha. That Ardhavajya Dasa is that Anandamaya Kusa. That is the Karana Sarir. You all remember probably the 5 sheets. You have to understand that the core is the consciousness. For example, how to understand who am I in Vedanta. I am that. But I am that means I see this body first. So body becomes I first, but not this body. I am not the body. Then my energy body is there, which is breathing, seeing, all the activity going on. That's the pranamaya kosa. So annamaya, pranamaya, physical body when I am seeing, feeling, experiencing. Then manomaya, mental level, when physicality goes away, you live in your mental, as we live in our dream state. That time this consciousness of the world gone, your body consciousness gone, you are breathing, you are sleeping, you are working, all these day-to-day activities gone from your consciousness. Nothing of the world remains good or bad, anxieties, worries, nothing is there. You live in you create another world of your existence, that is subtle body in the level of manomaya and vijnana. Because you look at it, what we have there. We have our mind there, we have the subtle body of this parallel to this body, there is a subtle body. Yeah? We also eat there, we also move there. So it is in a subtle level. Mind, manomaya and vijnanamaya, because intellect is also functioning, direction. I will do this, I don't do this, I take decision in the dream also. So manomaya, vijnanamaya is the second stage. That means he sees Krishna, he lives in the Krishna consciousness, he sings in the mental level. Physically, he's not there, but people say that he has gone to ecstasy, Or people say that he has fainted. In the faint state, he is not conscious of the outside, but he is not dead, but he is still there. So this is the second stage. That means his consciousness moving from the gross and to the subtle, where only Lord is there, and he is enjoying the bliss and connection there. Then goes to the subtler level, Karana Sarir. Karana Sarir is the ego body. Annamaya, physical body, Pranamaya, energy body, Manomaya, the mental seat, Vijnanamaya, intellectual seat. That is also stopped. When you go to deep sleep, your mind does not function. You don't see anything, you don't have any decisiveness or anything. They are needed. You just be there, but you are not aware. But afterwards experience, you say, it was the great joyful state. So you are going to that state of joyful state where you are there, but you are not aware of it. So this, when a sadhaka goes in this way to the internal world, because he is fully conscious, his journey is a conscious journey. Our journey is just prompted by our tiredness and other things. You go to deep sleep. When you go to deep sleep, we don't see the dream, neither you see the gross world. But we are always in happy mood. Deep sleep state is liked by everyone. And then, but when one goes to this type of sadhana and have been capable of lifting the mind into that consciousness, then they live in the consciousness which is called, there is nothing but infinite joy. And the perception of the person who was sadhaka, the individual practitioner stands there and observes and be enjoying the infinite bliss. He is enjoying, and he is only he and the Lord. Almost merged, not yet merged. That's called the penultimate state. We call it here. In the chakra idea, it is the sixth chakra. You are not reached here yet. One step is left. Then it's called Mahakarana. Ramakrishna said, Mahakarana is Panchakosha, beyond Panchakosha. So that is the state. When Mahakarana, the mind just got lost into the Mahakarana, then Sri Chaitanya is to go to Samadhi. This is called the Nirvikalpa Samadhi or Jara Samadhi. So we get a huge philosophy of devotion and knowledge mixed together. Vedanta does not make a distinction. Vedanta has a holistic idea that this is the same experience. But Bhakta does not want to be merged into Samadhi. That's the point. Ramakrishna said, Ma, don't make me unconscious. No? What he's mentioning, that I don't want to merge there. I want to taste the sugar. So keep me in that state. That is then in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, you read in the great master or divine play. It's called Bhava Mukha. Just at the threshold of the absolute and the duality. Duality ending, merging into the absolute. That is the threshold point. That's called the Bhava Mukha. And there Bhakta wants to stand there or little here, not getting too sucked into the, it's a big magnet. And Jiva, individual soul, is a filing, a small iron filing. He was further away, that was happy with the world. Now it moves towards internally, towards that great attraction of the Lord, Satchidananda God. Then you go internal and live in the consciousness, Krishna, and this divine play. And moving further, only the play is gone. The joy, the absolute bliss, that state. And then he enjoys that state. And Ramakrishna always says, Ma, don't make me unconscious. I want to enjoy the bhakta and bhaktas and their bhakti, devotion. This bhakti is called the parabhakti, the supreme love. Sri Chaitanya was parabhakti. Ramakrishna was staying in the level of parabhakti, that supreme devotion, where there is no two. So, in sum and sum, just summing up the whole philosophy of spiritual life is to reach that absolute bliss and enjoy that bliss. This world is not there. Vedanta says it's not there. For a bhakta is also the world is not there. When the bhakta is moving towards God, Sri Chaitanya's life if we see, Ramakrishna's life we see, this world vanishes for them. All its suffering, all its joys, all its attachment, all its accomplishment. There is no such position. For them, that is the reality. And they dive into that reality deeper, deeper, and they live in that consciousness and more. And then that horizon of limitation breaks and it becomes the infinite, absolute one. So Sri Ramakrishna is saying, he said, and one day in Ramakrishna Gospel, it is said that Ramakrishna is chanting the holy name and saying Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, and talking to Mother, the Divine Mother. Oh Ma, oh Mother, don't make me unconscious and give me Brahma Gyan and make me unconscious and keep it in the state. Ramakrishna was in 6 months in that condition, no? It's Jara Samadhi. He has no life, sign of any life. The birds used to sit on his top head and pick some, trying to find some grains, maybe something. Such unconsciousness and absorption inside. He's not dead, but outwardly he's Jara, he's almost dead. So that's why our Sri Chaitanya same is to sing and dance and then go to such an ecstatic state that body becomes totally out of commission, as it were. As Ramakrishna's life it happened, doctors could not find the pulse. How much they're poking the finger in the eyes, the blinking does not happen. Even we say poking in the eyes, our eyes blink. No? If I was poking in the eyes, in the finger, and then our eyes automatically blink. And doctor poked, actually, but no blinking. That means he's not there, he's like a dead body. But he is fully aware in his own consciousness. That is called the Krishna consciousness. That is called the Holy Mother consciousness. We call Vedantic Satchidananda. And Ramakrishna he has clearly explained that is the Nirvikalpa state. So, Sri Ramakrishna is praying there. No, oh Mother, I don't want Brahma Jnana. I want to play with bliss. I want you. If I receive, I can get you, and I'll have a spiritual play and divine play with you. Oh Ma, if I know you, then what is the need of Vedas and Vedanta? They are so far down in their level. That means it's a parabhakti, supreme love. That is the highest state of realization, and that is the goal of life. And that is called Jivan Mukti state in Vedanta. But Vedanta is, the bhaktas want to experience the presence of divine in every movement of life. So that is a divine play, is full of joy. Sri Ramakrishna, when he was incarnated, all the gurus came to him. When Bhairavi Brahmani came, Bhairavi Brahmani was expert in 64 ways of Tantra, Vaishnava Tantra, Shakta Tantra. Such a wonderful lady can exist in the world. She knows, she's expert teacher, 64 ways of Tantra. Wow, it is very difficult to remember the 64 ways, names of the path, no? We know a few words. But every path, she's a master in that, and she trained Ramakrishna 64 ways of Tantra. When she found first Sri Ramakrishna, she said in one place that Sri Chaitanya, seeing his condition, Swami Sri Ramakrishna's condition, that his body is burning, when Bhairavi Brahmani came, she landed. She is coming from Bangladesh, so-called Bengal. and he heard the news that Divine Mother ordered her that you are to take care of my children, give mantra. And there are three such extraordinary people are available, but he has finished with two disciples. Third disciple, he lives on the bank of Ganga. And seeing that the Kali temple, Bhairavi Brahmani, the teacher of Ramakrishna, landed from the boat. And Ramakrishna was in his room. Seeing Bhairavi Brahmani from a distance, she's asking Hridaya, nephew, hey, go and ask that lady to come to my room. Ramakrishna asking a lady to come to his room is a very unusual proposition. Hridaya Ram was so puzzled. What? My mama is talking. What the uncle is talking today. Anyhow, and as that lady came, her name is Bhairavi Brahmani, beautiful looking, face beaming with joy, with radiance of experiences, and saw Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna felt that as if mother has come. She said, Ma, without any introduction, who are you, who am I, He said, Ma, you see, my whole body is, to recover this from this suffering, I go to Ganga and deep into that. I put a wet towel in my head and it gets dried up within few minutes. This pain is so much burning, I cannot hold it. Then seeing Bhairavi Brahmani said, don't worry, my child, I have some means. I know it is no ordinary disease, it is yogic problem. And she prescribed, very much. She gave the sandal paste, prescription of sandal paste, putting all over the body, 3 days, and the burning left. Anyhow, that Bhairavi Brahmani, who became the teacher of Ramakrishna, she expressed that it is Sri Ramakrishna is seen Chaitanya in the body of Nityananda. Sri Chaitanya in the body of Nityananda. Sri Chaitanya, as I said, who is Sri Chaitanya? The embodiment of love, embodiment of tremendous emotional uplifted soul who knows nothing but Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. It's a prema, love, supreme love. And Nityananda is also partner of Sri Chaitanya, who jointly managed to preach this Krishna's name and this way to get peace out of it. So this Sri Chaitanya is full of love, his inside, and outside is the body of Ramakrishna, where you don't find anything but ordinary household life. He is married to Sarada Devi. He does not wear a gerua cloth, white dress. People looking at him find that he's an ordinary. One day he was plucking some flowers. Some Calcutta Babu came and saw there is probably he's a gardener. Says, hey, please pluck some flowers for me. Ramakrishna plucked some flower and gave it to him without any ego or anything. And then he came to see Sri Ramakrishna, knowing his glory. And when he saw the same person, he said, what did I do? I asked you, thinking that you were a gardener. So he used to veil himself like an ordinary householder. So Nityananda in the householder's family member, so people will think that he's ordinary. But internally he is Nityananda. It is Ramakrishna's assessment. And he said that it is internally Sri Ramakrishna is full of love, supreme love, externally living like an ordinary life. And that is the same God. As we know, God descends again and again in this. So this is and also Sri Ramakrishna had a vision. Once he went to Navadvip, where Sri Chaitanya was born. And he went there and met that place but he could not get any spiritual inspiration. Then he was thinking, I came to see the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya, such an incarnation of God, but I don't find any inspiration. What? While then he was thinking, the temple I visited, what is now they say this is the birthplace I visited, but I didn't get any inspiration. He was coming back in a boat, and when he was coming, the boat was in the little away from the bank, a little away towards the middle, and suddenly he saw a mystic vision. Two boys, young boy, Nityananda and Sri Chaitanya, with raised high, hands raised, and singing in Sri Krishna's name, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare, etc. And a throng of people following them. They all are coming. And seeing that, Sri Ramakrishna with the stretched hand, he embraced them. And here Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda merged into the body of Sri Ramakrishna. He was almost going to fall into the river that Hridayaram hold. And it's a mystic vision that was talking in the Ardhavajradasa, internal state. Physically, the whole boatman is there, no one seeing that, but he himself is only seeing in the mystic vision. Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda singing and dancing in the name of Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. They are following the throng of people following them, and they merged into the body of Ramakrishna. Ultimately, he lost his outer consciousness. Now, that he discovered the Sri Chaitanya's birthplace, real birthplace. As Krishna, Sri Chaitanya found out, they restored the holy places in Vrindavan. When Vrindavan was massacred by invasion, all the temples were desecrated and the deities are lost, Brahmins are thrown away from the city. So it became a jungle. Vrindavan, present Vrindavan, it was a jungle. After Muslim invasion, it became like that. And then what happened? Sri Chaitanya went there and Vrindavan, and he used to meditate here and there. And his mystic vision, he used to see the divine play of Krishna. And that way now the place we say, here is a Ras Purnima, and this story happened here and this, all this story, it is revived by Sri Chaitanya. And he gave what he has done and what he could not do, those in things to be restored by his disciples, Sri Chaitanya's disciple, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, great saints of the Chaitanya lineage. Now, Sri Ramakrishna found out the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya, which is in the middle of the Ganga, because the bank broke when it was, the temple was maybe there at the beginning, when Sri Chaitanya's time, it is 540 years ago, no? So it is almost 500 years ago. So the bank broke and went into the river, and the temple moved and moved and moved and moved. The present temple position, you will not find, you to go there, you find it ordinary place. But that is the birthplace, means wherever God takes his human birth, that becomes vibrant with spirituality. So we may not understand. Those who are developed in spiritual life, they can feel the sensation, they can feel the experience. So Ramakrishna felt the experience. So Ramakrishna found out the birthplace of, or discovered the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya, as Sri Chaitanya discovered the holy land of Vrindavan. So we find the same mission is the same, preaching of Vedanta is the same, preaching of devotion is the same. But to end, because this life is so big. So we find that Sri Chaitanya was a very great scholar, and then he gave up the scholarship when he got the one great sannyasi monk came there in the village. His name was Ishwarpuri. Puri. We belong to the Puri group of the 10 divisions of Sankara. No? We monks are. Our name is Sarvadevananda. No, our name is Swami Sarvadevananda Puri. someone Saraswati, someone's name and the monk's name at the end we get Saraswati, Bon, Bharati, Parbat. These are the all titles of monks. So 10 such divisions among the monastic division, and one monk of our Puri Sampradaya, his name was Ishwarapuri. He came into the village of where Sri Chaitanya was in the growing stage, famous scholar, and he was such a scholar, and in those days there's always a pride in it. I'm a greater scholar than you, so you come and ask and have a debate, challenge, and you get defeated, accept I am superior, give a signature. So that was, he was such a Nimai, this being song, and what you call the Sri Chaitanya, that name was Nimai. Nimai becomes such a powerful logician that all the scholars, if they say that he is there, he will run away. But he will catch them, hey, come, and then seat them and argue with him and then fight, and they will be defeated. And similarly, he was going, it is called the scholarly enjoyment. So, and he was absorbed into it. Then came Ishwar and talking with him about Vedantic truth and arguing with him, his life transformed, and he suddenly took the turn. He said, I want to lead a life of spirituality. And then he turned into Krishna, 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 Krishna. That mantra is given by Krishna mantra, given by Diksha Guru, and it was Ishwarapuri. And then with practice of such mantra, and what happened, his heart becomes so much crying for God. He was God himself. He said, these are all play of life. And then when he was so much crying for God and God and God, then he felt disinterested for everything, and then he wanted to take a sannyas. That's why he said Sri Chaitanya means sannyas. Giving up everything, renounce everything, go back. And he actually then went to Keshava Bharati, who was his guru, monastic guru, and then took mantra from them, and then taking that mantra, then he gave up family, home, and chanting the name of Krishna, 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 Krishna. And then a Krishna consciousness came, this movement, what is now today's ISKCON, is out, Sri Chaitanya's lineage, they follow. So this is the transformation came, and then he moved to Puri Jagannath, and he was crying and weeping in the name of God, and he was saying, Ha Krishna, where is Krishna, oh Krishna. After attaining that samadhi, when he came down, the cry for Krishna became much deeper, as Ramakrishna also. When he first experienced Mother in the Kali temple, and he felt the nirvikalpa state of samadhi, after coming down from them, that experience, he wanted to enjoy that all the time, to stay in that state, and he tried. That's why he became more restless, and that Sri Chaitanya was crying and weeping, and he's thinking going to Vrindavan, but he misdirected and he went unto the what is called Puri Jagannath. And when he is entered into Jagannath, he was so overwhelmed with emotion. Seeing the Jagannath's murti, he went there and tried to embrace and touched it, murti, and become ardhavajya, unconscious, and fell down. And as it is very inauspicious then, that to touch the holy murti by an outsider, they do not know who is that. The temple guard then was coming with a whip to beat him. But Sri Chaitanya is not in the body consciousness, so he is in his own spiritual mood. And that time the court Pandit, the scholar, court Pandit of the king, Maharaj Prataprudra, the king, this is great powerful king was that, his name was Prataprudra. Prataprudra saw his court king, Pandit, came to salute Jagannath. He saw a beautiful young man, full of brilliance and effulgence. And he's a great scholar of the Pandit, of the courthouse, of the king. That means such a learned person and wise person. He saw and asked them, don't do anything. And then lifted Sri Chaitanya to his home. And he says that this is a good guy, but he's a monk. But he's crying all the time like a weak person. Then day and night crying Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. He said, hey, why you are a monk? Why are you crying like that? You should think of Vedanta. I am Atman. This is all false. And why are you weeping like it is a emotional expression of your inner spirituality? So I will teach you Vedanta. But he didn't know who is Sri Chaitanya. All the Vedantic scholars used to run away from him out of fear. And he's saying, I will teach you Vedanta. And he was very humble. Yes, sir, I will learn Vedanta. Okay. So he then started teaching him Brahma Sutra. Vasudev Sarvabhauma was the name of this Pandit. He started teaching Sri Chaitanya Brahma Sutra with Shankara's commentary. So one day he gave a good scholarly talk one day and explained what Shankara's meaning and this and that. He put his own interpretation. Vasudev Sarvabhauma, this great scholar, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, the teacher got annoyed. He said, I teach you so many things and I'm teaching so much for 7 days. You don't say one word, you understand? You don't understand. Is it right? Is it wrong? Are you a piece of stone? What happened to you? Then that is the time Sri Chaitanya said, sir, this is my understanding. I understand what the commentary, Vyasa Sutra, the aphorisms of the Vyasa, I understand. I understand what Shankara says. But sir, I don't understand what you are interpreting. Oh my God, to say such a thing to a scholar like Vasudev Sarvabhauma, what is this? And then he said, okay, let us argue. And then Sri Chaitanya started arguing with Sarvabhauma, Pandit, court Pandit, and he continuously, ultimately in logic, he felt he was a failure, and then Sri Chaitanya's argument stand. And then suddenly he saw him that he is not an ordinary man. Saradarshan, Sarabhuj darshan. There is Sri Chaitanya suddenly appeared before him, 6-handed God, who 2 hands holding bow and arrow, Rama, 2 hands flute and connected with that Krishna and Sri Chaitanya. In the one body of Sri Chaitanya, now the Pandit, great Pandit, Vasudev, he saw it is Rama. Ramakrishna said, he was Rama, he was Krishna, he is Ramakrishna. Here, without saying anything, Sri Chaitanya appeared before him, Krishna, Rama, and Sri Chaitanya. And then he fell at the feet of Sri Chaitanya and begged all the apologies and this and whom he was teaching. And then he respected him and thus honored him. And that is the Sri Chaitanya lived in the Puri Jagannath Dham, as Ramakrishna lived in Dakshineshwar. That was the ground like that. And it used to always be in ecstatic samadhi and things. But I will end with some very beautiful part of the teachings. After staying for some days in Puri Jagannath, with this episode happened with the court Pandit Vasudev Sarvabhauma, then Sri Chaitanya says, I like to go for pilgrimage. I want to visit, because sadhus should have to visit different temples, and I will go to South India. And can you tell me any scholar, any bhakta who is there whom I can talk? Then Vasudev Sarvabhauma referred that there is a great scholar and spiritual lay, advanced soul. His name is Rai Ramananda. You go and talk to him. Then he will know. Then he went and met Rai Ramananda in the south. And there meeting, they had a beautiful conversation which is very interesting. He went to and met this Rai Ramananda, and they used to converse with each other. So he is asking, can you tell me what is the goal of human life and how it can be reached? Then he said, Sri Chaitanya said, I ask you this question. What I know is, with humility said, I am an ordinary monk, Mayavadi. Prabhu kahe Mayavadi, ami to sannyasi. I am a monk. My philosophy's world is Maya, Mayavadi. Bhakti tattva nahi jani. I do not know what is the secret of bhakti, supreme love. Mayavade bhasi. I am floating in the philosophy of Maya. Therefore, Sarvabhauma, you are bhakta, so you teach me what is bhakti. And that bhakti conversation is with God. Prabhu kahe, paro shlok sadhero nirnay. I am quoting from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the most authentic book of Vaishnava tradition. Then say, tell me how one can reach this devotion, highest devotion. We are talking about that which is like samadhi, like jara samadhi, where only absorption will remain and you will not merge, and before that you stay a stage of on the threshold experience. How can you do that? Well, okay. The first, what is the goal? First goal is sadharma acharane Vishnu bhakti hai. See, there is no difference from Vedanta, Jnana, Bhakti, Karma, Dhyana. Fundamental requirement is the same. Unless one does his sadharma acharan. Sadharma acharan means we have our duties in our life. Perfectly perform your duties, responsibilities, and truthfulness, honesty, character. That's sadharma. That's sadharma. You are placed in a position as a teacher. Teach well. It is your sadharma. You are a mother. Mother's care is this sadharma. You are a father. Father's dharma. Everyone perform the best way you can do your own path, and that for all your religious duties and things. That if you do, then your love for God will happen. Unless the mind becomes clear. How the mind becomes clear? Thinking of the duty I am to do, and God has ordained me. God has put me in life to perform this, and I will do it with all devotion. Then Sri Chaitanya said, Prabhu kahe eho bhajyo, age kaho. I understand, that is a very basic thing. But tell me something more, how I can get bhakti. Then he said, Prabhu kahe Krishna karma arpan, sarva sadhasar. If you want to get love for God, all your karma, perform your karma. Sadharma you will do. Next, you do your karma, sadharma. How will you do the karma? Krishna arpan. Offer your all karma. All the duties you have done, no? Krishna arpan. Give it to God. Krishna arpan sarva sadhasar. So if you can do your duties in your home, in your family life, in your any position of life, and dedicate it and surrender to God, offer it to God, then that is the greatest. Sri Chaitanya says, I understand that much. Is there any other means? Kahe Rai, kahe Krishna karma arpan sarva sadhasar. Prabhu kahe, Sri Chaitanya says, Eho vajyo, this is external. Tell me something more deeper. Then Rai kahe, Ramananda Rai says, Sadharma tyaga, bhakti sadhasar. You reach a point, your dharma, righteousness, you have to observe your duties. Duty will drop from you. Sadharma tyaga. Only Krishna. See Ramakrishna's example. Sri Chaitanya, she was performing the puja as a Brahmin priest, and he started, and his mind getting more absorbed and absorbed, and he became unfit to do the external puja. He puts his flower on the head, half an hour gone. He's meditating, yeah. So any ritual, putting some water around, wrong, and see the fire around, but he's there immersed into that. So it is distraction. This is called the Sadharma Tag. He is a Brahmin, he is a priest, he is a sincere person, but he is not capable of performing the duty what he has been. It is falling from him because of the love for God. So such love should be intense love that your formalities will go away. Sadharma Tag. Then Sri Chaitanya said again, Bah, that's good. Eho bhajyo. This is also, it is external. You are talking too much external. Tell me something higher, much deeper. Then he said, Jnana Bhakti. See? Then deeper you want, then you have to understand whom you love. You love Satchidananda. Krishna is not a man. And then there's a beautiful description there. We have no time to read such verses. It says, Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Your devotion should be mixed with the Vedantic understanding. Jnana. Ultimately, he is beyond name, beyond form, beyond situation, beyond limit. No? It is the absolute one. That is the Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Oh, that's also good. Tell me something deeper. Again, Sri Chaitanya says, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, that bhakti devotion mixed with knowledge, meaning that God is the one absolute, unchanging, and beyond time, space. Okay, this is the idea. And love that bhakti. Krishna is that Krishna, not the man Krishna, not the boy who played in the Vrindavan Krishna. Yeah, but it is Satchidananda Krishna himself. Okay. Rai kahe, Jnana Shunna Bhakti Sadhusar. Eho hoy. Yes, that is true. What you say is correct. Aage kaho ar. Tell me something far deeper. Then Rai kahe. Then again Ramananda Rai says, Prema Bhakti. Supreme love. Their Jnana will drop. He is Brahman. He is Saguna. He is Nirguna. All this distinction, that will also frizzle, evaporate. That is higher. Then he said, Eho hoy. This is also possible. Aage kaho ar. Tell me much deeper. Is there any other deeper sadhana? Then he said, no, then you prema bhakti, dasya bhakti. I am his servant. So, that's why Ramakrishna, how it matches. Ramakrishna said, oh ma, don't make me totally lost into your consciousness. Na? Here he says, the prema bhakti, jnana shunna bhakti, I have no more analysis that he is absolute, non-dual. I don't want to have that. I love him and love him and love him. And that love should be extreme attraction, extreme absorption. And I want to enjoy that. How will you enjoy? Dasya bhakti. There is five modes of bhakti is there. God is the Lord, I am his servant. This is my friend, my child, I am the mother, he is my child. All this, Dasya, Sakha, Matsala, Madhura. So he went on saying, Rai Ramananda says, Prema Bhakti, that love, unconditional love, not judging who is he is so great, he is so low, or he is Saguna, he is Nirguna, that consideration is also gone. Love for love's sake, that is the highest. Well, in that love for love's sake, what is the highest? Tell me further. Then he said, Dasya Bhakti, Prema Sarva Sadhusar. Dasya Bhakti, I am your servant. You are the Lord. I don't want anything. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to argue anything. I know you are my Lord. You are my God. That's Swami Vivekananda said, Das tabo janame janame. O Ramakrishna, I am your servant in age, life after life. You are the master. I am your servant. That's called the very peak point of devotion. Dasya Bhakti. Then says, okay, Dasya Bhakti is good. Tell something higher. Then he says, Sakha Prem. Higher is relationship with God as he is my bosom friend. Friend to friend. An eternal friendship. Not the ordinary friendship we understand. In your good time there will be fan friends. And when a bad time comes, all leave. Not that type of friend. In happiness and in misery, in pleasure, in pain, in every condition, you are my friend. I am behind you. So God is my friend, and this is my relationship with him. That is the higher. Then he said, oh, that's also good. Eho Uttama. It is also good. But what is the next? Vatsalya Prem. God is my child. Gopala, Ramlala, Christ, baby Christ. So this type of idea, that is the highest. And Eho Uttamo, Age Kahoar. Tell me further. Then he said the conjugal relationship like Radha and Krishna. That is the highest. Now the question is Radha and Krishna, conjugal love. Naturally people will misunderstand. Then Chaitanya is asking, Sri Chaitanya asking, what is Radha? What is Krishna? Who is Krishna? Krishna, Rai said, Ishvara Parama Krishna. God is the absolute, who is Satchidananda Vigraha, which Satchidananda has taken a human form. That is the Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is not a man. As we say in Ramakrishna, no? Chit Ghanakai. Chaitanya, consciousness condensed, Ananda condensed milk. Condensed. So much milk, condensed, it becomes thicker. And then thickest, sweet, nothing but sweetness. So that is the Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, embodiment of Satchidananda. Anadir, he has no beginning. Anadir, Adi, he has no beginning, no end. There is Govinda, and is the cause of all. Sarva Karana Karanam is the cause of all cause. And who is Radha? Radha is not a woman. Radha, Devi Krishnamayi Prakrita, Radhika Paradevata. Radhika is the Param, supreme goddess, God, and Sarva Lakshmi Mayi. She is the embodiment of all wealth, prosperity, sweetness, love. Sarva Kanti, and she is the mother divine. Sammohini, she is the mother Mahamaya. She is the embodiment of all the spiritual ideal condensed through which the whole creation comes. So, this is the Krishna, this is the Radha, and this is the love. And that love is the supreme love where all the concept of duality vanishes. And attaining to that state, when they come down, they understand what is called bhakti. Attaining God when you can, that's why Swami Brahmananda, why he said this, we didn't understand. He said, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, after Nirvikalpa Samadhi, spiritual life begins. My God, see. After Nirvikalpa Samadhi, spiritual life, because we don't know what is spiritual life. Spiritual life is joy. As the example he was given, you take a candy in your mouth, you put it on the right side, it is sweet. Put it on the left side, it is sweet. Upper on the tongue, it's sweet. Below the tongue, it is sweet. Sweet, madhu. That's why Upanishad says, madhu bhataritayate. In the wind there is madhu, honey. Madhu ksharanti sindhava. In the waters, flowing water, that is honey. You will feel that it is honey, it is sweetness, it is joy everywhere, in every object that is joy. So that will be the, after that experience of Nirvikalpa. So then is the bhakti, real bhakti. Our bhakti is called Vaidhi bhakti. All the ritualistic bhakti, formalities. Love with formalities, no? Love at first sight, it happens like that, no? Formalities is more. You invite your friend whom you love first and make a beautiful table decoration and all fancy things and this, that, and bring food items and protocol, all this protocol. And when you get much in love, then what happens? You become friend And then what? Hey, take your own thing. Can't you do the dishes? The same, when love becomes intimate and it's that there is no formalities, all formalities go away. So that is the para-bhakti such that will be for all love and all joy and joy, 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 joy. Okay, so this is Ramakrishna and Sri Chaitanya both stands for this highest experience of this understanding about what is Krishna, love for Krishna, what is para bhakti, supreme bhakti, raganuga bhakti. These are the different terminology of that. Thank you.
Maybe a few questions if
Question?
anybody has. Just wait for microphone.
Tell me something higher.
Huh? What?
Tell me something higher.
Something higher. Huh? There is higher. There, oh, do you want to see the highest? There is something higher also. Yeah. Ajay. That's a very good question. Is there anything higher? When this question was going on, what tell me further, 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 and when she was listening about the spiritual moods which may come in the mind of a sadhako from Ramananda, and Ramakrishna, Sri Chaitanya was experiencing so much of higher emotions and experiences going on inside. And seeing that, Ramananda was very surprised, and he asked, he's asking, tell me something higher. All the Madhura Bhav we talked about, the conjugal relationship, there is further, higher than that. Then he said, Ramananda says, I was surprised. Is there anybody in the world to know beyond that? The relationship, like conjugal relationship, not in the human level, but in the spiritual level. And as I said, Krishna, who is Radha, I have just read that. And is there anything? Then he says, Rai didn't find any competent student to put any question. After this, what happens? After this, what is there? That type of student, he didn't find any. And he became very surprised and he said, Rai kahe, ar buddhi goti ko nahi ka amar. I have no more intelligence to express those things. Huh? What is that state? What is that beyond that? Culmination of Madhura Bhava, conjugal ideal, is, I cannot explain it. It is Prema Bilasa Vivarto. It is called a state where Na So Ramana, Nahama Ramani, Duhumana Manabhava Peshala Jani. That means in that supreme condition of love, the para bhakti, Na So Ramana, who is Lord Krishna? Nahame Ramani, who is Radharani? Who is male, who is female, who is this, who is duality? It is still talking about duality. All are gone. Duhu, manobhava, this mental state of two, gone. Then what is that? Silence. Don't say anything. Cannot say anything. That is the Upanishad says, Avang manasagocharam. Your speech cannot express, your mind cannot express, your understanding cannot have anything, because all collapse there. It is only that is that. So beautifully, it is very serious subject that in the Bhakti's book we are listening, so-called Bhakti you go, they will say, don't go to the sadhus, monks. They are Mayavadis. They all talk about Maya, Maya, Maya. But you see what he is talking about. The culmination of that is such a situation, silence. You cannot say anything. If you say, then it is not that. It is lacking from that absolute oneness. So that is the ultimate goal, as has been Vaishnava literature. Avang manasagocharam. That's the thing. Okay. Anything more?
Swamiji, thank you. You're going back, but leave a part of yourself with us with all your blessings in your heart.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Please.
Swamiji, can you hear me okay? Yeah. I just want to say that there was this once, way back in the 1990s, there was this terrible murderer, a serial killer, was.
Wait, please, somebody here explain me what he's talking.
I'm saying, way back in the 1990s, there was a serial killer, it was a terrible murderer, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment, sent to court and sentenced to life imprisonment for all the terrible crimes he committed. And then in court, he apologized to everyone and all the families he hurt and all the victims he hurt. And after he's done apologizing, he said in court that he wants to use religion as a means of becoming a better person. And the judge says, I hope religion does make him a better person. But my question to you, he said he also knows that he'll spend the rest of life in jail. And the judge says, I hope religion does make him a better person. But my question now is that what it really takes to really truly accept God into your heart, is to hit rock bottom like that? And is that what you call like a born-again Christian?
What is the question?
Right, I think he's basically saying that.
Yeah, someone is went to
Yeah.
judge and court and he
Right,
killed
and then,
so many people.
Yeah, and then he hits Marge. Then
Can you hear me okay?
yeah, we can hear it. We got the question. So then basically Marge, the serial killer, basically comes to the court and he's saying that he has to hit rock bottom. So almost you're giving up hope on everything, and then you come to God. The question is, do you have to give up everything? Do you have to become hopeless to come to God?
At that point.
And
Hopeless is not from frustration, but hopeless from experience.
Is that
This-
what you
this
call
is
as a born-again Christian, someone who accepts God after
It will,
living
how,
such a terrible life?
no, how can I express, in the life it may come in so many ways. When we try to find peace and joy, doing good things, and it does not give, we get frustration. And when it gets frustration, it leads us to a higher question, why? And then why leads us to the path of truthfulness, to the righteousness. Even a serial killer, or good or bad, is there when he understands that this is not the way I could not find the joy, what I wanted by killing this person, but grabbing that money or doing something so brutal. When he understands nothing gave me peace, then at the bottom, they hit the bottom and some question comes. First question comes. Dukkhotrayo vighata jigyasa. 3 types of dukkha we have. When we get a suffering and blow from the world, knocks from the world, then what happens? Then we have put a question. And that question is the starting point which leads us to the solution. And that is the genuine question. We may put question, what is God, what is, in happy days, in heydays. In our joyful days, we put question, what is God? I am taking a sip of tea and saying, what is God? And okay, intellectually you are talking about. But when you hit the bottom, that serious question comes, serious response, you will be satisfied for serious response. And that is the turning point in life. And that actually leads us to graduate. First, then we lead to.
And is that what you call like a born-again Christian, someone who accepts God after living such a terrible life, he finally accepts
What
in
is
his
that?
heart?
is that what you call born again Christian?
Born again Christian?
Someone who accepts Christ.
After living such a terrible life,
I do not, I do not want to go, take it very broad-minded ideology. What Christians, what they follow or we follow is not the question. But point is that when we need blows from the world.
to really accept it.
We always have to get, no one has been freed from that. Getting the blow from the world, we question why it is that, then we find some solution. So that is the way. Otherwise it is intellectual understanding, no. in the philosophical understanding, people can have in their pleasure moments. It is a Bagboi Khori, Shabda Chori, Shastra Vyakha Anukausalam, Tadbad Bhuktaye, Natu Muktaye, Shankaracharya says. Otherwise, it will be intellectual debate and intellectual fight, and there is a joy in that. But when we really face the challenges of life in a very severe way, then comes the inner question, and then we run for its solution. We go to holy people, we go to holy scriptures, it opens up a new avenue for peace, eternal peace. And that leads to bhakti, jnana, whatever. Okay, thank you.
Maharaj, we have we have to wait a couple minutes for lunch to be ready. So let me ask you one question here, is that you mentioned that Sri Ramakrishna had a vision of
Nityananda.
Nityananda and who else?
Right.
The two brothers.
Sri Chaitanya.
Sri Chaitanya, yes. And then you said that.
Gora Dubhai Ese Chere, that song.
Right.
Yeah.
And he said he had the vision, and then they entered
Into him. Yeah.
So we often see that when Ramakrishna had a vision of Christ, Christ entered into him. There are some other experiences, I believe, where what is the significance of having the vision and entering into Sri Ramakrishna?
Yes. Ramakrishna is called the Avatara Varishtha. It is not for emotional statement that everyone says my Guru is the greatest Guru. No. My Krishna is the only Krishna. People may say out of personal devotion, but rational mind will not accept that. It is God who is Ramakrishna? Avatara Varishtha means Avatara is God incarnate. No, simple formula. What is Avatara concept? God, Ishvara, in our Sanskrit term, English term, God, the personal God, not personal, formless, nameless, but quality. Nirakara, Saguna Brahma, that is called Ishvara. That's called the God, G-O-D, in Christian world. In Allah is called, that is the Allah concept in Christian Islam. So that same power, the same truth comes down in the human form. No less, no more. In disguise they come and come down. That is the Christ, Buddhas, Ramas, and Sri Chaitanya we are talking about. Now, they exercise their power as is needed. As is the problem, no? Military is called for fighting one place. But to bomb it or to kill with the gun or what weapon they will use, it depends on the necessity. So when Rama came, God has to deal with he became a child of what? A king. And to kill the Rakshasas, the demons were disturbing the home of fire and other things of the sages, no? And he has to fight with arrow and bow. At the same time, so how is the continence, how peace, how joy is always there. Huh? How one can be in happiness and misery equal. All this ideology is manifested in their life, which has inspired human society for thousands of years. Krishna, he was born in that family in a prison, and then how he was from the childhood in all odd situations, crossing them, and he removed all the sufferings of the people by killing the bad kings, destroying the bad kings, and inspiring the society to establish in truth. This is Rajasa quality was much more necessary there. War, fight. He didn't do, but when he did the physical war also. And at the same time, giving the highest wisdom, what is called Bhagavad Gita, you can find it. Ramakrishna came in this age, it is a Sattvika manifestation more. He didn't go with a war, with the arrow and bow and arrow. He didn't become a king to conquer other bad kings, to kill the other bad kings, to re-establish the good kings in the world so that the whole society gets benefit. But he came here in this age as a Sattvika manifestation. And in Sattvika manifestation, the same God, but he's using his, all the other sources are coming and merging into him. That means proving that God is the sum total of all the spiritual energies. Says Ramakrishna is an embodiment of all. That's why the Krishna who is there is merging into him, Rama merging into him. Specifically, we find that Shiva, one way he's walking as Shiva, another way is Makali, another time he's finding Christ appearing and mystic merging, proving that God is only one. And in this age, in the Sattvika manifestation, that's why you call the avatar of Varishta. Varishta means where the manifestation of the power is most in the Sattvika quality. He didn't come with a weapon, but he's killing our ignorance, destroying our ego, taking us to the right direction without any physical action of that type of war or other things. But it's a mental war. It is a tamasa quality to destroy, to bring to rajasa, to sattvika quality. Okay? Thank you.
Maharaj.